Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Garrett Smith of The Nutrition Detective of nutritiondetective.work and nutritionrestored.com. Those, if you need further links, those will be down in the comment section below. This is live again, so it's not going to be perfect. What I wanted to go over today for those of you out there, especially ladies, who are having issues with fertility, or should we say infertility, is something that I noticed early on in my practice with people, especially as I got into the hair analysis and working on giving the body what it needs, helping it get rid of what it doesn't want, and then getting the heck out of the way, because our bodies are wonderfully designed to heal themselves, was we started noticing that women who had been previously infertile or had fertility issues, all of a sudden were getting pregnant. Now, I want to say that I don't treat infertility. I do what I do. Actually, my mother was just asking me about this. She said, I was telling her I was going to do this testimonial. She said, what do you do to treat infertility? I said, I don't do anything special. I do the same thing I do with everybody else. Infertility. Now, this is not saying anything negative about the women with infertility or the men who have sperm issues who have infertility. But fertility is a marker of health. To get pregnant, you must be a certain amount of healthy, if you will. And if you are not healthy enough, your body will say, we cannot or we should not get pregnant right now. And that is why it happens. So I want to tell you something. If you haven't seen my birth control pills and how they increase vitamin A toxicity and they increase copper toxicity, birth control pills induce infertility. If fertility is a marker of health, what this implicitly means is that birth control pills are making you unhealthy. Now I've gotten much more of a handle on what they're actually doing to the liver and how that can affect the rest of your life. So if you've had issues since you've taken birth control, I know what they are and I'm starting to fix them. So it's going to be very interesting. They really mess with your liver. And that's how the problems from birth control can stay for good and may simply just tack on to other problems later. So let's get into these testimonials. Now remember, I was treating these women like I treat anybody else. I did not do anything special. I think I do something special, but I wasn't treating a condition. So the first one, quote, I've been Dr. Smith's client since January of 2014, so my testimonial is long overdue. When I started with him, I had been bopping around following internet health fads for a number of years, and I was looking for a program that would make me healthy for the long haul, not a fad that made me feel good for a while, followed by an inevitable crash. I was mostly looking to increase my energy and sleep better to start. During my first consult, I mentioned to Dr. Smith that my husband and I had been struggling with unexplained infertility for the past 4+ years. And he warned me that a side effect of his hair analysis program, HTMA program, could be pregnancy, as he had seen this happen with other clients. Sure enough, after 8 months of following his program, I discovered I was pregnant. Keep in mind, this was after nearly 5 years of following both natural and conventional methods to overcome infertility without success. I have no doubt it was Dr. Smith's program that provided my body with the right balance of minerals to allow my body to be healthy enough to conceive, carry, and give birth to a healthy baby. Fast forward 15 months postpartum. I had continued to follow Dr. Smith's program. Much to our surprise, my husband and I discovered we were expecting again. We hadn't really even been thinking about that possibility given our previous struggles, so be warned, that is how well Dr. Smith's program works. Clearly, I have him to thank for my 2 little miracles. I am currently 9 months postpartum after giving birth to my second child. Honestly, up until recently, I had yet to notice any improvements in my energy and sleep, but I had faith and proof that the HTMA program, that's hair analysis, was making positive improvements to my health given the changes in my hair analysis results and my ability to conceive and carry 2 children. At around 5 months postpartum, I did an iron overload consult with Dr. Smith. And a couple months after following the iron overload suggestions combined with his HTMA suggestions, I am finally feeling an increase in my energy and I am sleeping better. It's so wonderful to have this energy to keep up with my kids. I am only expecting to continue to see improvements as I carry on with this program. I would highly recommend this program to anyone looking to improve their health. Dr. Smith makes it very easy to follow with streamlined treatment plans and detailed client handouts. If you follow his supplement suggestions and make a few changes to your diet, you will be feeling great in no time. One of the things I love most is that it is simply providing your body with the minerals and vitamins to do what it needs to do to work optimally. It's not forcing your body to do anything it doesn't want to. End quote. So that was the first one. 2 kids after 4 years of infertility. And the iron overload stuff, that's all part of the normal program now. That was something I had just started working in, and then that was an issue for this woman. So moving on to the next one. This was a woman who was doing IVF fertility treatments, okay, and was having trouble with it, not getting where she wanted. So to say this, I'll say this at the end too of this testimonial. She ended up having twins. She doesn't mention that in this. This is about her changes during the IVF. So, quote, "Hey, Dr. Garrett, I have the most amazing news. So as you know, I was about to start my 8th round of IVF when we talked. I was on magnesium lotion for about a month and then started everything else you recommended except 2 of the things. And about 2 weeks later, sorry, let me say that one again. I was on magnesium lotion for about a month and then started everything else you recommended except blank and blank about 2 weeks later. So I probably started all my supplements right about when I started my IVS stims. 2 weeks on supplements and counting. Well, anyway, we did the egg retrieval on Friday. We got 12 eggs, 10 were mature, and all 10 fertilized. We have never had that happen," in all caps. "Usually IVF is like a funnel effect, so you start with a lot and end with a little. Well, today our embryologist called and our embryos have even been growing for 3 days and all 10 are still growing again. Never happened before," all caps. "Also, 6 are growing fast. Never happened before. Always have really slow growing embryos and are already morulas, which is day 4. My first/only pregnancy with my 2-year-old was with a morula embryo. And the other 4 are right on track at 6 cells on day 3. Everyone at the RE office is over the moon, and so are we. Now we still have to make it to day 5 or 6 blast, but the embryologist said that's looking like it's not going to be a problem. Then we have to biopsy them, send them off to be tested, PGD, and make sure they are normal. PGD tests for chromosomal abnormalities such as the trisomies. We have never done PGD, and basically our last-ditch effort to find out what, if any, issues are with my embryos and why I'm not getting pregnant. So, long story short, with your help and a new RE, because our practice got bought out and we got amazing new doctors, I might finally have another baby. Hope this email wasn't overwhelming. I gave all my Instagram followers your name, so if any IVF, IUI, TTC people call you, it's because of me and my raving about you on Instagram. Anyway, I'm over the moon and I literally could kiss you, and if I get pregnant, I'm 100% your poster child and will recommend you to everyone I know and don't know." End quote. As I said, this person later had twins. So, just a quick note on that. If your IVS isn't working, so think about this. If a person is infertile already, and you're doing all these pharmaceutical and, basically mechanical interventions where they're fertilizing your eggs, and they're still not working, there's likely a problem with nutrient deficiencies and toxicities. What could I have helped this woman to fix in her body in 2 weeks? With some testing on nutrients and giving her the nutrients that showed up as deficient in the testing. We were correcting the nutrient deficiencies. That's all we were doing. We test for them, we don't guess, and then we address them. It's quite simple. I'm doing a seminar right now. If you're a practitioner and you want to know how to do this stuff, I'm doing a seminar right now. There's a video on this channel if you'd like to learn how to do this. It's not that, it's challenging, but it's how we should say it. It's simple but not easy. takes practitioners who first understand the concept that what this world has too much of is nutrient deficiencies and toxicities of all types. And when you fix those things, the body is amazing and it can fix itself. The last testimonial, this is not down in the notes below. I couldn't fit it. Quote, I started on Dr. Smith's program because a friend recommended him. I was suffering with constipation and low energy. After only 6 months on the program, my energy had improved greatly and I was more regular than I had been in 2 years. My hair was thicker, my skin had improved, and I was surprised to find that I was pregnant. I had struggled getting pregnant in the past, and this one was a complete surprise. Dr. Smith is very knowledgeable, and as a medical professional, the reasons behind his treatment are fascinating. He uses up-to-date research and really has a passion for what he does. He's very patient and willing to work with you when problems arise with your treatment. I believe he is truly helping people to improve their health by getting to the root of the problem instead of treating symptoms with a prescription pad. End quote. So, again, accidental pregnancies. These are women who often were not expecting to get pregnant. And as that first testimonial said, it seems I tell people a side effect of this. I actually warn women. I say, look, if they've been trying to get pregnant, they've been having difficulty, I say, you need to understand if you don't want to get pregnant on this program, you need to take precautions. And I definitely don't recommend birth control. Birth control, ladies, birth control is poison. It can ruin your health for the rest of your life. It may not just ruin your fertility. It may ruin your health. It causes vitamin A overload. This is in the research since 1975. Go watch my video. It also causes copper toxicity in your liver because you can't get rid of your bile correctly. Birth control pills cause cholestasis. They cause your liver to basically back up. And women tend to have problems with this anyway because women are full of estrogen and estrogen tends to slow down the liver. It's just a fact of nature. It's just the way it is. So anyway, we are working on all these things. Again, we give the body what it needs. We help it get rid of what it doesn't want. And then we get out of the way. That's all we're doing. There's no coffee enemas or doing really weird things. It's very simple. The human body works amazingly well when you do the right things. And the right things are quite simple. Good food, proper food, proper food. You have been misled by both the conventional medical industry and the mainstream alternative nutrition industry. You've been terribly misled. And this is why everyone's having some problems. I had a woman yesterday who she is the wife of a client of mine. And I do know her husband was trying to do some of the things that I do with my clients. He knew the things that I was generally doing, and he was doing some of them with her. And she was 40, and she went in to the IVF clinic, and she got pregnant the first time. You want to know what she told me that she was sad about? How many 20-something-year-old women there were in the infertility clinic. She was dismayed at how many young women. She was 40 in there, and where she lives, they get one IVF round for free, or if you want to say it, the state pays for it. Okay, she goes in first time, boom. Husband had been probably helping her do some of the stuff I do indirectly. Infertility is everywhere these days. Chemical, like biochemical, physiological, real problems in women, infertility. There is a reason. There are very specific reasons for it. And if you think that infertility is like just an unlucky accident, or you think cancer is an unlucky accident, or you think all these diseases out there, people are just unlucky, I'm sorry, you're incorrect. There are very distinct nutrient deficiencies and toxicities going on that people are being sold to do these things to themselves. And I'm here to unsell people on that. So anyway, that's what we got for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you know people who are struggling with infertility and they are willing to do more than just do pills and injections that the MDs say, you need to think about modern fertility treatments are forcing your body to do something. They're saying your body's not doing what you want it to, so we are going to give you drugs and injections and procedures to force your body to do what it cannot do itself. Forcing your body to do things that it cannot do itself is inherently unhealthy. It doesn't end well. Have you noticed a lot of the kids today have a lot of problems? Well, if the father was sick and he had poor sperm quality, and the mother is sick, or the mother is sick, then you end up with kids who have problems. None of this I'm not placing blame on the people. The system is the problem. And the system is why everyone is sick. So, the things you'll hear me say are not part of the mainstream system, and there's a reason for that, and there's a reason why I'm fixing problems that the mainstream systems have caused. And by mainstream, I mean both mainstream conventional and mainstream alternative. If you ever see something being parroted by both the mainstream and the alternative communities, you can be darn sure it's probably the exact wrong thing to do. So, hope you all enjoyed this. Share it with the people who need to hear it. I will be back hopefully later this week with another video, and have a great day. Oh, again, if you want to get in touch with me, nutritiondetective.work is where the vitamin A detox program is. That's a do-it-yourself thing. If you are struggling with infertility and you want to deal with this problem as quickly as possible, nutritionrestored.com, the packages on there, working with me directly is how you're going to get that's what all three of these testimonials, all three of those people were working with me directly on testing, treatment, and when there was the vitamin A detox program involved, they were doing that too. So have a great day. I will see you all next time. Bye now.